Hi folks, Tom from Freakout Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing what I would class as a classic album by the Swedish progressive metal outfit Opeth. Opeth have been around for a long time now, really, and their previous albums before this were classed as, black metal, death metal, and hints of progressive stuff in there, but kind of keeping things heavy. But they always kind of had these like little acoustic things and little clean like intros and interludes, which is one of the reasons why I got into Opeth, really, if I'm completely honest. I really love the clean stuff what they do. So when I finally got onto listening to Damnation, it was just amazing. A real game changer for Opeth, really. They sort of abandoned their typical sound, not completely, but they got rid of all the heaviness and just went and did a clean album, which is kind of crazy, but it really paid off for them. This album was recorded alongside their other album called Deliverance. They were both recorded in 2003, produced by Stephen Wilson. Stephen Wilson is a producer, singer, songwriter, musician, frontman for the band Porcupine Tree, and close friend of Michael Ackerfeld. Now, what can I say about this album? It's just, it's my favourite Opeth album, definitely. There's some great songs on here that really do make the album come to life. It's definitely all about the songs on this album. There's some classics. Window Pane, it starts off, just really gives you an insight as to what the rest of the album's going to be like. A great opening track, and sounds great live as well. And then into In My Time of Need, another standout track for me, really brilliant. And what I love about this album so much is the clean sound. It just gives you shivers, man. Like, it's really, really good. It's just one of them things that it's just one of those sort of sounding albums that you never forget. Coming from a musician's point of view, when I go to record my albums, I pass on copies of Damnation to, producers and say, look, I really like these tones on this album. Could we try and do something, not rip it off, but do something similar, because it's really great. Stephen Wilson definitely knows exactly what he wants, and he knows how to get it, and he does get it. And I think Opeth made a really good choice recording with Stephen Wilson. I've watched documentaries about the making of Deliverance and Damnation, and the band do say on that making the album was very, very stressful, and it was hell, really. And there was a lot of problems with the place they started recording it. I can't remember what it was actually called where they started recording Damnation, but they eventually said, look, let's move and let's go record with Stephen Wilson in London. And thank God they did that, because I don't think they'd have had the album that they have today if it wasn't for him, really. But yeah, standout tracks on this for me would be Hope Leaves. It's one of my favourite Opeth songs. Great lyrics, great song, great structure. The guitar tones on this are really drenched in echo, and it just gives it this sound that just gives you chills. It really does. The full album, as a collective, all the songs as a collective on the album, is very kind of has this sort of melancholy feel to it. Then again, it is an Opeth album, so it's kind of what you'd expect. But but it pays off really well, and the album as a whole, there's no songs on it that feel out of place. All the songs feel like they really fit in, and even like in the order of the songs, you know, they each sort of finish and then a new one begins, and it sort of just takes off where the, you know, it just sort of carries on where the one left off really. I just love this album. The last track is just really good. It's one of my favourite Opeth songs. It's called Weakness. The last track on the album, which starts off with Michael Ackerfeld singing in this like really sort of quiet and sort of whispering tone, and it sounds like it's got some kind of like telephone effect on his voice, which sort of makes it a little bit creepy, but sounds really cool. And then Stephen Wilson kicks in with some mellotron. I'm sure he plays the mellotron on it. I'll have to check that out. I'm pretty certain it is Stephen Wilson that plays that. And you know, and he sort of just fades in with these real luscious sort of guitar tones, really nice and clean, really echoey. You know, it sounds like they're playing in like a church. Really cool. And everything's cool about this album. I mean, look, even the cover. I mean, look at the cover. It's just, yeah, you know, it's just everything about this album is brilliant, and I keep saying it. I'm aware I'm repeating myself, but I'm gonna give this album a rating of a strong 9, because for me personally, it's my favourite Opeth album, and it definitely, you know, definitely beats the more recent albums. I would take this over Heritage. I would take it over Watershed. At a push, I'd probably take it over Blackwater Park. And I'm just more into it than some of the earlier albums. Something about this album that just, you know, just gives me a certain feeling. It's a really strong album. And if you don't have it, then go out and get it and listen to it. And if you do have it, listen to it again, because it really is a strong album. But thank you for watching. I'll be coming at you with more reviews, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you soon.